Hey, so we got a rich white Crip. I don't know where this finna go, bro, but this the Cameron Terrell story, bro. Shout out Traveler Ross. He be putting this stuff together, man. He be doing his homework, he be doing it, researching, talking to who he talking to. You feel me? But it's rich white Crip. It's like it give me informant, undercover. You know, I don't know. That's just how I'm feeling. But we're just gonna jump into it, man, and just see what's to bro.
South Central Los Angeles is world famous. Whether it's for the gangster rap pioneers of NWA that gave us Straight Outta Compton and the careers of Dr. Dre and Ice Cube, or iconic movies depicting local gang culture like Boys in the Hood. For years, all over LA and the world at large, people have been fascinated about life on the most dangerous streets of the world's most famous city. And of course, the real gangs behind the popular media are nothing to be trivialized. Los Angeles was the birthplace of modern...
I ain't gonna lie, man. I used to wanna live in LA. I used to want to visit. I ain't never even visited. But everything that's just going on, it's just starting to just turn me off. Like, it's beautiful, but it's beautiful on the outside, but on the inside, that shit ugly, you know?
Modern day gang culture. The Bloods and Crips emerged out of LA, bringing decades of violence and bloodshed to their inner city communities. And unfortunately, as the years have gone by, young, vulnerable men growing up in difficult areas have been born into an endless cycle of gang violence, bringing decades of death and destruction to black and...
I'm sorry, but he called their ass vulnerable. Damn.
Other minority communities in the city. With this whole situation made even worse by institutional racism and a lack of investment into these communities that need the help the most. But today's story isn't about a disadvantaged youth born into a difficult situation, using their talents in music to overcome and escape the dangers of the street life. No, today we're taking a look at what happens when a rich, privileged white teenager becomes obsessed with gang culture and decides to cross the border from the affluent gated community they were born into to the dangerous gang-affiliated streets of South Central, making an active choice.
Why? Look, if you've seen my Lil Ma Boo reaction, everybody mad at me about, I posted a little snippet of the video and I posted on TikTok. Everybody pissed on TikTok because he literally say, I took a trip to the hood so I can make it out. That's him, bro. It's just like, why? And I was just like, no. I had stopped and it was like, no. You know, that's just not, it sound hard, but that's just not it, bro. You literally left what you had to, come on, man.
To shun their privilege and join the rolling 90s Crips. However, when things escalate and a young man loses his life at the hands of gang violence, that young well-off man would flee South Central, returning to the safety of his wealthy community and parents' home. And with the help of his rich parents, an eye-watering amount of money, and a seemingly prejudiced legal system, he would completely avoid any responsibility for his actions, whilst his two black co-defendants rot in jail facing full...
This finna make me mad, bro, or what? Is this finna piss me off or what, bro? Cause so far I'm getting a little pissed, bro. Come on, man.
...by murder charges. This is the story of Cameron Terrell, aka the rich white Crip.
You'll be walking down the street and you'll see like a group of black dudes walking, you know, thugs. In a group they got like one or two, sometimes as many as three white guys will be with them. You ever seen this shit? Those white guys are the most dangerous motherfuckers in them groups.
Cameron Terrell in many ways won the birth lottery when he was born. He popped out on US soil as a white man to two extremely wealthy parents. Cameron was the only child of interior designer Deborah Terrell and media executive Donald Wayne Terrell. His father Donald, at the time of this story taking place, was the president of a successful media consulting firm called New and Improved Media in El Segundo, California. With over 25 years in the game, having worked with brands like Fox, McDonald's, Nike, and the California Lottery. And his company was working with the biggest TV networks in the game too. Clearly the marketing game was lucrative for the Terrells, as they were able to raise their son Cameron in a luxury property on the exclusive Palos Verdes estates. In what
I feel like I'm finna just shake my head through this whole thing. Through this whole thing, bro. Like, come on, is that little media company still around? Or did they son ruin everything?
Forbes once described as one of America's most expensive zip codes, with the average household income there back in 2015 being a whopping $245,000. The Terrells' mansion-style home was allegedly 3,878 square feet with a price tag of a whopping $1.8 million. And they had a whole lot of luxury vehicles parked outside too, with a Porsche Cayenne SUV regularly spotted in the driveway and Cameron himself known for driving a brand new Mercedes. Cameron would attend the local Palos Verdes High School, and by all accounts he grew up as a normal suburban kid. His life wasn't short of privilege, and growing up he would get opportunities to broaden his horizons and see the world, reportedly vacationing in Mexico at beaches and resorts where Cameron would enjoy fishing, dirt biking, and board games with his family. However, at some point, trouble would emerge in the domestic bliss of the Terrells' household, with his lawyer later revealing that issues with his parents' relationship drove Cameron to rebel, spending more time out of the house and eventually hanging out in a South...
Hey, I never understood, I never been through it. My parents been together my whole life and still are together. But I never understood, like, why kids or whoever, teenagers, whatever age, you let your parents break up affect you. Like, why does that shit be happening?
South Central LA Park, where he would befriend local teenagers. Story has it that Cameron would run away from home, spending weeks at a time with his new friends' families, eventually even calling other women who had taken him in mum. And over time, these friends that he made hanging out in South Central would be approached by older men in their community. Eventually...
Okay. Just a little bit. Okay. Alright. But how the hell did he get from here to all the way over here? Maybe it's not as far as I'm thinking that it is. It wasn't nothing to bump into one of them at the mall or something and they befriended him or however it happened, or some Facebook and he actually met up. Ain't no telling, but I'm starting to see how, but man, bro, you could have been flexing in the Bentleys and the nice ass car, the big ass house, bro. You couldn't. Let's keep going, man.
Eventually being inducted into the local gang, the Rolling 90s Crips. And in the end, it would be Cameron's connection to this very street gang that would spark a series of events that would eventually see another young man losing his life, and Cameron and his friends behind bars facing murder charges. The blue bandana wearing Crips are one of the world's most infamous gangs. Starting out in Los Angeles as early as 1969, the Crips are a loosely connected network of sets operating in different areas all over the city. And the particular...
Hey, real quick too. Real quick. Since he was white. Since he was rich though, I wonder, was he like funding them? Was they... It's probably gonna get down in the story, but was he like funding them, getting them guns, helping them buy drugs and all that shit? Did they really rock with him, or was they finessing his pockets? You know?
Set that Cameron Terrell ended up becoming affiliated with were known as the Rolling 90s, part of the larger Neighborhood Crip Alliance, or CARD. Now, there's numerous Neighborhood Crip sets in the Alliance whose names correspond to the streets their crew are from. For example, the Rolling 90s might be friendly with the Rolling 60s, of which Nipsey Hussle was famously a member. With many sets belonging to the Neighborhood Crip CARD, this doesn't necessarily mean that all Crip sets in Los Angeles are friendly to each other. In fact, the Neighborhood Crips have a long-running feud with another CARD known as the Gangster Crips. For example, the 8-3 Gangster Crips, or 8-Tray, located nearby. This means that essentially, a Rolling 90s Crip could take one wrong turn into nearby 8-Tray territory and find themselves being killed on sight, and vice versa. Now, Rolling 90s territory is a stretch from Van Ness Avenue and Western Avenue between Manchester Boulevard and Century Boulevard, with the street of Western Avenue that runs through this territory being a symbolic place of importance for the Rolling 90s Crips. And as a way of signalling their allegiance to the group, members often wear t-shirts reading Western Avenue. Another example of this is the regular use by Rolling 90s Crips of the logo of the sports team the Washington Nationals due to the prominence of the letter W in their logo, with the W standing once again for Western Avenue. Now, another important location for the Rolling 90s is nearby Jesse Owens Park, and it's believed that this is where Cameron Terrell was initiated into the Rolling 90s Crips. And it's also where he spent a lot of time after departing his family home over 20 miles away from where he lived. In fact, the father of one of his eventual co-defendants...
Yeah, 20 miles ain't nothing crazy. That just look quick, little decent, little ride. Depending on y'all traffic, I don't know, but No, 20 miles ain't really too much in Chicago for real. Especially most everything you hopping on the E-way. You know what I'm saying?
Would even tell reporters that Cameron Terrell would often pull up to the area in his brand new Mercedes, and over time becoming heavily involved in street activity going on in the area. According to a later LA Times article quoting his own lawyer, Cameron apparently thought that the gang lifestyle was cool, and over this period, in his spare time, he was closely studying gang culture, apparently going on what was described as an LA gang binge, reading numerous books about gang life in the city. And once he'd been initiated into the rolling 90s, Cameron will begin to be seen regularly wearing blue on social media, hanging around at the park wearing a blue bandana, and riding around the area in luxury cars with his friends. As I've already mentioned, Cameron was known for driving a brand new Mercedes, which allegedly he even became known in the area for letting people...
I don't know if he said it already, but when was this? How long ago was this? Even though this probably he gonna still say something down the line, but this shit just still crazy, bro. He could have did some whole other shit, bro. I'm not going. I don't approve.
Borrow. In addition to that, it's also believed that he would regularly give away luxury designer clothes to his gang-affiliated friends. At a certain point, Cameron Terrell would swap his family fishing vacations in Mexico for spring break with the Crips. He would even get a tattoo of the Washington Nationals W on his chest to represent his love for Western Avenue. And eventually, Cameron would even appear in a music video for a song called Neighborhood Anthem, a literal anthem for the neighborhood Crips. In that video, numerous other people with a tattoo of the Washington Nationals W would appear alongside Cameron, who appeared extensively wearing a blue bandana, surrounded by fellow Crips, as well as a whole bunch of weapons. Cameron himself would appear extensively in this video, rapping along to the song, seemingly even rapping along to the N-word numerous times.
And if it go on war, go all that.
Now, some people in the comments have mocked Cameron, with some even joking that the iced out Hublot watch in the video must have belonged to Milk's father. Milk being a nickname that Cameron had adopted around this time, which he would use publicly on his Facebook, which he also updated to include another reference to the Washington National.
Call his ass Milk. I don't know why that's so funny, man. I know why it's funny. You know why I know it's funny. They call his ass Milk, though, bro.
Used publicly on his Facebook, which he also updated to include another reference to the Washington Nationals. Other nicknames reportedly given to Cameron around this time were White Boy, as well as Bright Eyes or Blue Eyes. Clearly, Cameron Terrell had become truly integrated into the rolling 90s Crips, and despite his privileged upbringing, he had escaped the suburban bliss of Palos Verdes and become a truly accepted member of the South Central gang world. However, he would soon find out that there was more to gangbanging than music videos, tattoos, and blue bandanas, and he would end up in a situation where another young man would end up losing his life, and at least for a moment, it seemed as if Cameron would have to face up to the full consequences of life as a gangbanger.
Alright, man. I'm gonna stop it right there. That's a little intro for me to where it's finna probably take off, you feel me? But, yeah. You thought this shit was all fun and games? You ain't telling me you thought gang members just sit around and shoot videos and talk about possibly killing people, but never go do it. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like he finna just gladly snitch, bro. Why? And if why? Just why take him in? You know what I'm saying? For whatever, I don't know what's finna happen, but by him stating in the intro that bro not finna do no time, I just feel like he had to sit there and he had to give him up. He had to get the guys up because they're obviously in jail and he's not. That's how snitching work. You feel me? But why do people really want to come from up here to down here and think it's cool, bro? That shit not right. Stay in your lane. You was highly favored, bro. All because your parents broke up, man. Not saying that can't affect somebody, because obviously I hear that it affects people a lot, but that ain't no reason to run to the streets. You ran to the streets. Just steal a cars and go to some fucking college party or something in your area. But you fell to the streets. You got the tattoo. Come on, man. And I would honestly say this about anybody. If he was black, if he was Chinese, whatever, bro. It ain't just about his skin color for real. But it's the fact that he was rich and privileged. And he said, fuck all this. I'm gonna go sell drugs. When your daddy got all the money. Or your mama already got all the money. I ain't even saying go get a job. I'm just telling you go steal the car. Steal the car, bro. Spin the block. Found a bitch. and just stay out at her crib. That's how you get back at him. Not go get in the game. But alright, that's another topic, bro. Cause I'll sit here and get on his ass for days. You feel me? But let me know what y'all think, man. And catch you on that reaction.